Good morning, my dear students. I hope you all are fine. I welcome you for this session, that is semester 2. Today we start with the SS, chapter number 1. Name of the chapter is Socio-Religious Reforms. In the 19th century, Indian society was infested with various social evils like superstitions, illiteracy, ignorance, evil social customs, caste system, etc. The condition of women was worst in this narrow minded society. Various evil customs were widespread in our society, like the custom of Doodh Piti, Sati system, denial of widow remarriage, etc. Due to the Western education, a new awakening began in the 19th century to remove the evil customs from the society. Intensive efforts were made to bring in social and religious reforms. And who was that? Who was that person who took the initiate? Raja Ram Mohan Roy was the first among such reformers. Now let's see what Raja Ram Mohan Roy did. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was born in the year 1772 in the Hooghly district of Bengal in Radhanagar village in a Brahmin family. He was born in a Brahmin family. Raja Ram Mohan Roy got married in his early childhood. His brother's wife became Sati on her husband's death. This incident shook Raja Ram Mohan Roy deeply, and he initiated many reforms and protested strongly against the evil customs such as child marriage, casteism, Doodh Piti, etc. He started the Bengali newspaper, namely Samvad Kaumudi, in the year 1821 CE, and also Miratul Akbar in Persian in the year 1822 CE. Brahmo Samaj was established in the year 1828 CE. Raja Ram Mohan Roy established the Hindu College in Kolkata. He recommended many changes to the British government, like the independence of press, freedom of speech, women's rights, personal liberty, judiciary independent from executive, etc. He brought many changes in the real life of people. Raja Ram Mohan Roy started movement to abolish the sati system. As a result, the British Governor General of Bengal, Lord William Bentinck, passed a law to abolish the sati pratha. This law was framed in the year 1829. So it can be said that Raja Ram Mohan Roy laid the foundation of the Indian Renaissance, new awakening with regards to initiating social, religious and political reforms. The Emperor of Delhi sent Raja Ram Mohan Roy to England in the year 1830. In regards to his case, in the case of right to property, Raja Ram Mohan Roy died in Bristol in the year 1833. Brahmo Samaj played a vital role in reforming the contemporary Hindu Samaj. Brahmo Samaj tried to abolish the rigid and superstitious religious beliefs prevalent. Then, now next, after Raja Ram Mohan Roy was Dayanand Saraswati. He was born in Brahmin family in Tankara village near Morbi in Saurashtra. In his earlier childhood, he realized that the ideal worshipping and religious rituals were worthless. He renounced his family and the world in search of truth. He traveled across India for 15 years and also studied yoga. He became a sannyasi, an ascetic, recalls and studied the philosophy of Hinduism from Swami Virjanand Dandesha in Mathura. Swami Dayanand Saraswati made an attempt to achieve national unity by advocating a classless and casteless society. That means no casteism, he said, and no class. All are equal. He acquired a deep insight into the Indian culture and religion through the Vedas. He preached to the people to go back to the Vedas. He wrote a book entitled Satyarth Prakash. He made people aware that in the Vedas there is no mention about the evil customs such as idol worship, rituals, child marriage, sati pratha, untouchability, etc. Such type of rituals are not written in the Vedas, he explained to the people. He advocated monotheism, there is only one God. He preached in Hindi, and as a result his thoughts reached the maximum number of the people in the country. He established Arya Samaj in 1875, branches of which were established in Lahore, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and Gujarat. Consequently, social changes occurred rapidly. Arya Samaj started a movement to reconvert those people to Hinduism who had changed their religion out of force or choice and were willing to return to their original faith. After his death, the activities of this organization were continued by the leaders like Lala Hansraj, Pandit Gurudutt and Lala Lajpat Rai. After Dayanand Saraswati died, these three people continued his duty, what he was doing. In the year 1902, Kangni Gurukul was established near Haridwar by Swami Shraddhanand. Arya Kanya Mahavidyalaya was started in Vadodara, Gujarat, where the education focused on inculcating discipline, dignity of labor, tolerance, patience, and more values. Now, next reformer was Ramakrishna Paramhans. Ramakrishna Paramhans was the torch bearer. He was said as a torch bearer of Indian culture. He was also a reformer and saint who had sought the truth through all the religions. He was born in Kamrapur, Pukkur village of Hooghly district in Bengal. He took interest in the religious activities from his childhood. He became a priest in the Kali temple of Dakshineshwar near Kolkata. Many people were attracted towards him due to his preaching on purity of character and deep knowledge. He tried to attain God in various forms. Many religious reformers like Keshav Chandra Sen, Dayanand Saraswati and others came into his contact. Those influenced by the Western culture redeveloped their faith in culture and religion of India because of the preachings of Ramakrishna Paramhans. Now, next reformers was Swami Vivekananda. A Bengali graduate named Narendra Nath. His Narendra Nath Dutt. He was born in 1863 and he died in 1902. Came into contact with Ramakrishna Paramhans, who reciprocated his quest for knowledge. Narendra became a disciple of Ramakrishna and became an ascetic, later acquiring the name Swami Vivekananda. He did an intensive study of the Indian and Western philosophy. Swami Vivekananda advised people to serve the poor and look for God in needy people. He imbibed pride for our rich cultural heritage and faith in a bright future in the Indian youngsters. He attended the Parliament of the Religions in Chicago in the United States in the year 1893. With his influential speech, he provided understanding about the Indian philosophy and culture. He propagated the Indian culture by touring various countries like the United States, Europe, Egypt, China, Japan, etc. He was an ardent supporter of the Indian culture and a devout nationalist. He gave the legendary slogan to the Indians: "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved." What slogan he gave to the youngsters? Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved. Swami Vivekananda established the Ramakrishna Mission in Kolkata in the year 1897 in the name of his guru. Who was his guru? Ramakrishna Paramahansa was his guru, and he started the mission in his guru's name. It has its headquarters at Belur. This mission adopted the ideals of service to mankind through various works. The mission followed the slogan "Service to man is service to God." By gaining motivation from the life of Ramakrishna Paramahansa, this mission opened schools across the nation for imparting education. Hospitals were run by mission to help the people in need. Even today, the branches of the mission are functional in India and even at abroad. Now next, Reformation movements in the Muslim community. In the earlier 19th century, social and religious reforms were initiated in Muslim community under the leadership of people like Haji Sharitullah from Bengal and Sir Syed Ahmad Khan from Rai Bareli in Uttar Pradesh. They were motivated by the preachings of the religious leader Shah Waliullah of Delhi. They believed that the Britishers could establish their rule in our country as the Islam in India was becoming weaker and corrupted. They started Wahhabi movement in order to strengthen the Islamic religion and culture and also to make it purer. Many Muslims started acquiring English education due to the impact of the Wahhabi movement and the growing influence of the Western culture. However, due to the orthodox nature of the ulema, a large number of Muslims remained deprived of the English education, social awareness and reforms. That is why the education of Muslim and the subsequent rise of the middle class was not satisfactory. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was born in an aristocratic family during the revolt of 1857. He was serving the East India Company as an employee and had remained loyal to the company. After his retirement in 1869, he went to England and was influenced by the liberal ideas of the West. He advocated the idea of acquiring the English education as a means to reform the Muslim community of its orthodox attitude and backwardness. He started a magazine namely Tehzeeb-ul-Akhlaq. In 1870, he established the Aligarh Muslim College in 1875, which is known as Aligarh Muslim University today. He translated the books of English literature and science in Urdu language and tried to make the Muslim familiar with the branches of knowledge from the West. He opposed the Wales system and child marriage and advocated education for girls and widow remarriage. Now next is Sikh community. Let's see what Sikh community did. Sikh community. The reforms of the 19th century was influenced the Sikh community. Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee was formed with an objective to reorganize the religious practices and remove the evil practices from the Gurudwaras. To impart English education along the religious education to the Sikh, Khalsa College in Amritsar was established along with many other schools. Parsi community. The Parsi youngsters who had acquired English education established Rahnuma, a Mazdianense Sabha in 1851 for socio-religious reform movements. And Dadabhai Navroji was the leader of this Sabha. This Sabha had started a periodical namely Rashta Gufta. It gave an impetus to reform movements and carried out work for awakening the Parsis. K.R. Kama and Behramji Mulberry also contributed in the socio-religious reforms. Kama laid emphasis on the propagation of education and Mulberry emphasized on women empowerment. They opposed the child marriage and encouraged widow remarriages. Due to the efforts of Mulberry, the government passed a law fixing the minimum age for marriage in 1891. Next was Jyotiba Phule. Jyotiba Phule was a well-known social reformer of Maharashtra. He started a school for girls in Pune in 1857. He helped the widows to remarry. He challenged the authority of the Brahmins in the society. He established the Satya Shodhak Samaj in order to inculcate confidence, courage, and enthusiasm in people. So, in short, all the communities started their activities for women. Next was Thakkar Bapa. Thakkar Bapa's contribution as the head of the Akhil Hind Harijan Sangh established by Gandhiji was very valuable in the upliftment of the untouchables. He worked tirelessly to provide relief to people affected by natural calamities. Amritlal Thakkar, popularly known as Thakkar Bapa, was born in 1869 in the city of Bhavnagar. He was born in Bhavnagar. He remained a dutiful and devoted servant of the people throughout his life. He was an engineer who left his lucrative job to serve the downtrodden and marginalized people after being inspired by Gandhiji. He was the follower of Gandhiji. Thakkar Bapa established the Panchmal Bhil Seva Mandal and tried to reform the lives of the Bhils who inhabited the deep forest and the hilly areas of the Panchmal region. Like Adivasi people, Bhil, when it is a caste. Thakkar Bapa and his followers freed the Bhils from the addiction of alcohol, other evil customs and superstitions. He opened schools for the Bhil children. He taught them how to operate a spinning wheel to produce khadi and involved them in small cottage industries. As time passed, awakening and nationalism spread among people, which connected them better with the freedom movement. Gandhiji's emphasis upon the removal of the untouchability improved the condition of people from the backward classes.